Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a 2022 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics featuring the character Doctor Strange. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, it is the sequel to Doctor Strange 2016 and the 28th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU). The film was directed by Sam Raimi, written by Michael Waldron, and stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange, alongside Elizabeth Olsen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong, Xochitl Gomez, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Rachel McAdams. In the film, Strange travels into the multiverse to protect America Chavez Gomez, a teenager capable of traveling between universes, from Wanda Maximoff Olsen. Doctor Strange director and co-writer Scott Derrickson had plans for a sequel by October 2016. He signed to return as director in December 2018, when Cumberbatch was confirmed to return. The film's title was announced in July 2019 along with Olsen's involvement, while Jade Halle Bartlett was hired to write the film that October. Derrickson stepped down as director in January 2020, citing creative differences, with Waldron and Raimi joining the next month and starting over. Filming began in November 2020 in London but was put on hold in January 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Production resumed by March 2021 and concluded in mid-April in Somerset. Shooting also occurred in Surrey and Los Angeles. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness premiered at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood on May 2, 2022, and was released in the United States on May 6 as part of Phase 4 of the MCU. The film received generally positive reviews from critics, who praised Raimi's direction, the cinematography, visual effects, musical score, action sequences, emotional weight, and performances of the cast, particularly Cumberbatch, Olsen, and Gomez, although the pacing received some criticism. America Chavez and an alternate version of Dr. Stephen Strange are chased by a demon in space between universes while looking for the Book of Vishanti. This Strange is killed and Chavez accidentally creates a portal that transports them to Earth 616, where this universe's Strange rescues Chavez from an octopus demon chasing her by killing it with help from Sorcerer Supreme Wand. Chavez explains that the demons are hunting her because she has the power to travel through the multiverse. Recognizing runes of witchcraft on the demon and the alternate Strange's corpse, Strange consults Wanda Maximoff, only to realize that she is responsible for the demons hunting Chavez. Since acquiring the Darkhold and becoming the Scarlet Witch, Maximoff believes that controlling the multiverse with Chavez's power will allow her to reunite with Billy and Tommy, the children she created during her time in Westview. When Strange refuses to surrender Chavez, Maximoff attacks Kamar-Taj, killing many sorcerers. Chavez accidentally transports herself and Strange across the multiverse to Earth 838. Maximoff uses the Darkhold to dreamwalk into the body of her Earth 838 counterpart, who lives a suburban life with her own Billy and Tommy. During the battle with the sorcerers, the Darkhold is destroyed, breaking the dreamwalk. Maximoff forces one to lead her to Mount Wundagore, the source of the Darkhold's power and the location of a shrine to the Scarlet Witch, allowing her to re-establish the dreamwalk with her Earth 838 self. While searching for help, Strange and Chavez are arrested by Earth 838's Carl Mordo and brought before the Illuminati, a secret society which consists of Mordo himself along with Captain Peggy Carter, King Blackadder Boltagon, Captain Maria Rambeau, Dr. Reed Richards, and Professor Charles Xavier. They explain that through reckless use of his universe's Darkhold, Earth 838's Strange triggered and barely averted a universe-destroying incursion and had to be killed before he caused more harm. Mordo believes Earth 616's Strange is similarly dangerous. Before they can pass judgment, Maximoff, controlling her Earth 838 self, arrives and kills the Illuminati, except Mordo. Strange and Chavez escape with help from the Earth 838 counterpart of Strange's ex-fiancée Christine Palmer, an Illuminati scientist. Fleeing from Maximoff, the trio enters the space between universes to find the Book of Vishanti, but Maximoff appears and takes over Chavez's mind, using her powers to send the others to an incursion-destroyed universe. On Earth 616, Maximoff begins the spell to take Chavez's powers. Strange fights the destroyed universe's Strange, who has been corrupted by the Darkhold. Strange uses this Darkhold to dreamwalk into the corpse of the alternate Strange which remained on Earth 616 and save Chavez with Wand. Unable to overpower Maximoff, Chavez instead transports her back to Earth 838, allowing Billy and Tommy to witness her evil. They recoil in fear, crying for their real mother, Earth 838's Wanda. Realizing the error of her ways, Maximoff uses her powers to bring down Mount Wundagore, destroying all copies of the Darkhold throughout the multiverse and seemingly sacrificing herself in the process. Before Palmer returns to Earth 838, Strange tells her that he still loves his universe's Palmer but has always been too scared to have a real relationship. Chavez begins training as a sorcerer at Kamar-Taj. Sometime later, Strange develops a third eye as a result of using the Darkhold and is approached by a sorceress, who warns him that his actions have triggered an incursion as both enter the Dark Dimension. Reception box office as of May 6, 2022, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has grossed $36 million in the United States and Canada and $85.7 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $121.7 million. The film earned $27.2 million from 20 markets on its opening day, surpassing the first day overall results of Doctor Strange 2016 by 153% and The Batman 2022 by 210%, but falling behind Spider-Man No Way Home 2021 by 4%. During the pandemic, the film had the best opening day in the Philippines and Thailand, both earning $1.2 million, and had the second best opening day in Hong Kong, Vietnam, France, Germany, and Italy. In Japan, the film had the second highest non-local opening day during the pandemic, becoming the third best premiere for any MCU release in the country behind Avengers: Endgame 2019 and Spider-Man No Way Home. Disney held the record for the second highest opening day release in South Korea, behind Avengers: Endgame. In Malaysia, the film earned $1.6 million on its opening day to become the second highest in the country's industry history. Aside from opening day records, the film earned $10.3 million from its previews in Latin America. As of May 5, 2022, the film's largest markets are South Korea $5.9 million, Japan $3.8 million, France $3 million, Italy $2.2 million, and Germany $1.8 million. The film had the most ticket pre-sales through Fandango since Spider-Man No Way Home. In April 2022, Box Office Pro projected the film could earn between $190–210 million in the United States and Canada on its opening weekend, with a total domestic gross of $450–560 million. By the week of its release, debut estimates were $160–180 million from 400 theaters, the most venues of the pandemic, with some projecting as much as $200 million. Critical response on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes: 77% of 259 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 6.60/10. The website's consensus reads, "Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness labors under the weight of the sprawling MCU, but Sam Raimi's distinctive direction casts an entertaining spell." Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 62 out of 100 based on 57 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Don K. of Den of Geek gave the film 4 out of 5 stars, feeling that it would please the legions of established fans by embracing the comic book weirdness of it all with vigor and abandon, as Sam Raimi creates possibly the MCU most off-the-wall entry yet. He praised Raimi's directing style of the film that he regarded as the most singularly identifiable vision of an MCU director since James Gunn directing Guardians of the Galaxy 2014. He also praised Olsen's performance, which brought a real, palpable, heartbreaking grief to the part along with an electrifying single-mindedness, and McAdams' appearance, which was given more to do in the film, but felt Gomez's role was reduced to the role of exposition machine in the course of the film's events. Owen Gleiberman of Variety felt that the film was a ride, a head trip, a CGI horror jam, a what is reality Marvel brain teaser, and at moments, a bit of an ordeal. It's a somewhat engaging mess, but a mess all the same. He found Raimi's direction in a number of scenes in the film had the companionable spirit and shifting imagistic flair he showed in the first 2 Spider-Man films. Lee Greenblatt from Entertainment Weekly praised Raimi's take on Doctor Strange and direction, saying the film felt like many disparate and often deeply confusing things: comedy, camp horror, maternal drama, sustained fireball, but different from previous MCU films. Greenblatt called this experience wildly refreshing, having been 23 films into the MCU. Deadline Hollywood's Pete Hammond also praised Raimi's direction and storytelling, which he thought was a successfully entertainingly mix of kind of dark, terrifying storytelling with established MCU characters, and felt it was similar to his previous horror films, such as The Evil Dead 1981. Amelia M. Burwing at IGN rated it a 7 out of 10 and said that there was something about this newest chapter of the MCU, concluding that the film was a Sam Raimi film through and through. The Hollywood Reporter's John DeFore wrote that, while longtime Raimi fans may be deflated by an early scene in Multiverse of Madness, The director shows flashes of his distinctive style in the following scenes. He also thought the film was unsatisfying in some respects, but praised the final act, which he felt starts to play more to Raimi's strengths. It's looser, more kinetic and occasionally goofy despite the big stakes. Justin Chan of the Los Angeles Times gave the film a positive review, and also praised the film for Raimi's direction. He called the film an alternately goofy and grisly story that pauses every so often to unleash a tidal wave of grief. Chan praised the performances, particularly Cumberbatch's and Olsen's, while also praising the visuals and the film's approach to the multiverse, which he felt allowed it to pose a few playful questions about fate, predestination and human decency, and its difference from traditional quip-a-minute tone that is the Marvel Enterprise's preferred comic idiom. Empire's Dan Jolin rated the film 4 out of 5 stars, praising Raimi's direction and the action sequences, which he felt were creative, and felt the film was Marvel's most deranged and energetic movie yet, as much of a winning comeback for director Sam Raimi as it is a mega-budget exercise in universal stakes raising. David Sims from The Atlantic called the film surprisingly good and also praised Raimi's direction, remarking that he was glad to see space for a real genre auteur amid all the multiversal machinations in the MCU, though he criticized the pacing and the cast. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian rated the film 3 out of 5 stars, and gave the film a critical but mostly positive review. He concluded his review by saying that infinite realities tend to reduce the dramatic impact of any one single reality, and reduces what there is at stake in a given situation. Nonetheless, it's handled with lightness and fun. IndieWire's David Ayalin also gave a more critical review, as he felt that Doctor Strange's character had been diluted after the events of No Way Home, and said slowly, gradually, and then with great enthusiasm, what begins as a staid tale of people hurling CGI at larger pieces of CGI while yammering on about whatever new thing is threatening all existence evolves into something less familiar, a violent, wacky, dragged me to several different hells at once funhouse of a film. He remarked that he thought Raimi's style in the film was not enough to make Multiverse of Madness a great movie, it was enough to make it a real Sam Raimi movie. Brian Tallarico for Roger Ebert, however, rated the film 2 out of 4 stars and gave it a negative review, feeling the film was sewn together from pieces of other films, comic books, and TV shows and given life with the electricity of a Marvel budget and labeled it a Frankenstein movie. He criticized the characterization in the film, and felt that the story keeps coming back to incredibly shallow character traits like Wanda's grief, Strange's unspoken love for Christine, or America's uncertainty about her own powers instead of focusing on the potential of the multiverse, and criticized the use of CGI, though he added that the film did contain Raimi's visual flair. Alonso Durald of The Wrap also gave a negative review, comparing the film's use of the multiverse to that of Everything Everywhere All at Once 2022, and wrote, Daniel's boldly inventive indie movie explodes with wit and nerve and character, most of which are prominently missing from this latest MCU adventure, and also criticized the screenplay of the film, which he thought was so crowded with plot and characters and magical doodads that there's no room for the characters, though he praised Elfman's score and the visuals.